You can't overcome evil with evil, but overcome evil with what? Good. Oh, you're good. That's nice. You know what he's trying to do. He's trying to psychologically dominate you. Heck no. You smell like body odor. You need deodorant. Thanks for the information. Your face is ugly. You have the face of an angel, sweet cheeks. I hate you. I love you. When we don't get upset, because that's all they want. They want us to get upset. We maintain our power. Remember what they said about bullying? Bullying is an imbalance of power, psychological power, intent to do harm repeated over time. When a person's like this with us, trying to psychologically dominate us by keeping us in a state of fear or anger or somehow disturbed, when we realize, no man, I'm not going to give you that satisfaction. I'm not going to get upset no matter what you say. Some kids will say, how do you do that, Brooks? I mean, gosh, what they're saying is really hurtful. I mean, it's like a racial insult, okay? It's like the worst. It's just a word, bro. Yeah, but it's like a racist word, which is still a word. Can I take that racist word, wad it up, and throw it at someone, give them a black eye? No. But if I hit you with the dictionary, is that considered verbal assault? No, you little rascal. It's not the words in the dictionary that are giving me a black eye. It's the hardback of that cover of the book that's actually giving me a black eye. The word is only powerful if I give it power. And this is what we have to teach children. Today we teach them words hurt, words wound, words kill. So when they're called mean words, you're hurting me, you're wounding me, you're killing me. But when we realize, hey, it's just a word. They're wanting you to be hurt. They're not trying to make your day awesome. They're trying to hurt you ruin your day. They're not trying to give you good feelings inside. They're trying to hurt your feelings. Don't you see their game? You're falling for it. They're trying to psychologically control you, and you're taking the bait. Well then, how do I just not feel bad? Change your thoughts. Because it's not what they say, it's not their aggression that wounds you emotionally. It's your thoughts about their aggression. It's your thoughts about their actions. There's something huge between their aggression and your emotional consequence. A, C. Aggression, consequence. Between A and C is the letter what? B, my belief system. And the way that I protect my emotions from having a negative consequence is by changing my thoughts. Thoughts to what? Well, if you think, they better never say that mean thing, they have no right to be mean, they ought not to. They have to respect me. If you have high expectations for how they treat you, when they don't treat you that way, you have a hard fall. So expect people to be jerks and be pleasantly surprised when they're nice. It's managing your own expectations. Or like my son, hope that they're jerks so you can practice your skills. A boxer doesn't get in the ring with a sparring partner, and when he gets punched, no fear! You jerk, that hurt! Sparring partner's, I'm sorry, dude. No. The boxer says, hit me with your best shot. Come on. The better you are, the better I'll be. Now, I'm not promoting physical violence. Do not get confused. But I'm saying if we want to get any good, if we want to get good at anything, we need struggle. We need opportunity. We want our children to sing, I am beautiful, no matter what you say. Oh, words won't bring me down, so don't you bring me down. Are you scared? Today, I'll take questions now. Questions before I let you go. There's another game we didn't play. It was called Stop It, but there's plenty of videos of me playing this game with kids online. All right, yeah, I'm going to stay down here for the questions. All right. Raise your hand if you have a question. By the way, thank you for coming out. Thank you for the PTA for organizing this and bringing me out. Thank you for the school for opening your doors of trust to help me teach emotional resilience, which I think is the superior approach to bullying prevention. We still want to make sure that we talk to kids who are aggressive. There's no doubt about it. But when I talk to kids who we label bullies, do you know what I find? They're typically the middle guy. I did this to her because she said this to me, and I did that to him because, oh, so you're not a bully, you're a victim? Oh, the victim. Okay. They typically have a reason. Their only reason may be they don't want to be on the low end of the social spectrum, so they're mean to others so they can be on the high end of the social spectrum. It's still fear, a victimization characteristic. It's still fear that's driving them to be mean to others. And so that's why it's not helpful to label people bullies, to call them bullies, because that's not how they feel. Think about human nature. We always think the other guy's the bully, and we're the victim. And if you keep thinking that way, you're never going to solve your child's social problem. You need to think it in sociological categories of aggression, like I shared with you. I hope that was helpful. Any questions? I answered my own question, isn't it? Yes, go ahead.
I don't know how to phrase this, but as far as when you were saying with this, when you get into say racial slurs or homophobic slurs,
yeah.
Yes, it's one thing to just discard the words, but as a society, those words still hold a lot of power as far as control and imbalance. So how, so to just tell a child to say just ignore that, maybe might not work, because we're still not at a place in society where those minority groups are perfectly in balance.
Okay, so I only work with kids who are suffering.
Right.
I do not try to change culture. I do not try to social norm. I tried that early on in my career. It was exhausting and it didn't last because kids kept moving grades and leaving, and then we constantly have to recreate culture and indoctrinate children to niceness. And it's just, so what I do now, because it's so much more effective as a youth worker, is I look for kids that are hurting. So let's say a kid is gay, or he's called gay for whatever reason, or he's African American and he's called some racial slur, he's Hispanic or Asian or something like that. Whatever it is. I teach him, who cares what culture, who cares? He's suffering. Culture doesn't suffer. Individuals suffer within cultures. It may be group. By the way, when we get group suffering, that becomes real toxic. That becomes an identity of victimization. That's how we have the culture called snowflakes, this generation of emotional marshmallows, who really are hypersensitive to any negativity at all and demand that everyone's respectful and stuff. No, I'm terrified of victimization in culture. I'm thrilled to help a kid who feels like a victim. So I would teach them that about words. Do you realize the only reason why they're using this is because they're trying to be funny? And so it's funny to make fun of this characteristic about a person who's gay. It's an insult. It is. Well, I don't find it funny. That's not your humor. So it's not your style of humor. There's some comedians I don't go to, but they pack out stadiums. It's just not my style of humor. It's inappropriate. It's against my values. I don't try to shut him down and say he's evil. I just say freedom of speech, rock it. But I'm not going to involve myself in that. And I'm not going to take offense. I'm not going to take offense because I'm not going to give your words power. What do I think about those words? Well, I think that's unfortunate. So if I was working with a kid who found that to be horribly awful, like one black kid came up to me and said, I just can't get over the N-word, man. That's one word that I can't. And I said, well, then I know exactly how to psychologically dominate you. The fact that you cannot get over the N-word tells me I know exactly how to wound you emotionally. I know it. And if I wanted to, I would do it. I don't want to, it's against my values, but someone in your life will. And as long as that bothers you, you will continue to suffer and give them power. The choice is yours. That's what a counselor would say. I can't change the world around you, and I can't protect you from that word unless I empower you to be unfazed by it. But it's the N-word. So what? There's a K-word in South Africa. And if I said it, it would mean nothing to you. But to them, it's like everything. It's just a word. It's the thoughts that you attribute to that word. And I said, you probably got that anger from history. Your dad, your uncle, your grandfather said, yep. I said, well, I suggest you break that cycle. And What I would suggest if you were my son, you hope people call you that. Why would you say that? Because that ties you back to a people who suffered. That's the Negro, when they're called a derogatory term using the same basic word, it's reminding me of where I come from, and I suffered. And I'm proud of what we went through. And what did the African American slaves teach their children in 1863, the very year the Emancipation Proclamation was signed? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's what they taught them. It came from the black community, the slave community, 1863. And they told their kids, you're gonna be free from slavery, but not free from racism. And if you want to maintain your power, you should not allow those words to hurt you. Sticks and stones break my bones, words will never hurt me. Say it like you mean it. Sticks and stones break my bones, words will never hurt me. Say it like you mean it. Words won't hurt me. Keep that attitude. Because there's racists out there. Don't give them power over you. I think that's my time. It certainly feels like it. All right, y'all, that's my time. I'll be here to answer any of your questions. BrooksGibbsLibrary.com. Lots and lots of great information. And thanks again.